So, hello, I'm Paul Jeorrett, Chair of CILIP Cymru Wales, and I'm talking today to Tracey Stanley.
Hi.
Hello, Tracey. So you are Deputy University Librarian here at Cardiff University.
That's right, yeah.
And soon to be, very exciting,
Yes.
Acting University Librarian.
That's the one.
But also, and the reason for us talking today is you are this year's Welsh Librarian of the Year.
Indeed. And here it is.
It is.
Yes.
Lovely. But many congratulations both on your forthcoming role and on this. It's all richly deserved. I kind of wanted to start with how did you ever get into this profession? How did you wake up one day and think, oh, I really want to be a librarian?
It's funny, really, because I was thinking about this, and I never really did, to be honest. But when I was a kid, I loved libraries, and I spent a lot of time in libraries, and I've got a lot of really pleasurable memories, of going to the library with my mum and with my grandparents.
Are you the sort of person that went into the library and kind of chose a shelf in the children's section and kind of read through it? Or...
Yes,
oh,
just
you
work
were.
my way through it. And I'd borrow like great big piles of books, bring them home, I'd have them by my bed, and I'd read a chapter a night and kind of work my way down the pile.
Fantastic.
Systematically, so probably a bit weird, really.
No, I empathise with that. That's quite normal.
Yeah.
So you were used to be a regular library user?
So I was a regular library user from being very small, really, and right the way through, into my teenage years. Used a number of libraries in the area where I grew up. I wasn't just one, I was kind of eclectic.
Yes.
I just loved books, loved reading, but never really thought about it as a career, to be honest. And what I really wanted to be, probably from about the age of about 8, was a journalist.
Oh,
actually.
Really?
Yeah. So me and my friend had a
school
newspaper.
Yes.
Yeah, which the two of us produced together and edited, and I absolutely loved that, and that was my ambition in life.
That's interesting, yeah.
But that kind of didn't really happen.
You can always...
Yeah, maybe I could go back
second
to it
career.
at some point. Yeah.
So, did you go away and do a degree? Did you degree in librarianship?
No,
or
I did a first degree in English language and literature at Leeds.
I can tell you like books.
Yeah, so that was obviously from the love of literature.
Yeah.
First person in my family to go to university, in
Wow.
my immediate family, so that was all very new, very exciting, and a bit scary. And it wasn't, I guess, really in my third year, I was kind of really thinking about, well, okay, where does all of this go? What am I going to do with my life? I need to get a job. I've got debts. I'm going to have to pay my way in life.
Yeah.
And kind of thrashing around for ideas, really, at that point, in terms of what I was going to do next. And actually, a couple of my friends, a couple of close friends, both got graduate traineeships at the British Library in Boston Spa.
Wow. Oh, I remember those days. I don't think you can do that now.
I don't think you can do that anymore. No.
Yes.
And I actually thought, okay, I never really thought about that as an option. I didn't realise probably kind of didn't really realise that there was a graduate profession there in librarianship, to be honest. But that kind of opened my eyes to, maybe this is something that I could look at. Really.
So did you do a graduate traineeship?
I didn't, because I kind of missed the boat at that point.
Right,
because
okay.
the schemes had kind of closed by the time I realised that was an option.
Yes.
But what I did do was I worked for a year in Leeds City Libraries, just as a library assistant.
Yes,
on a full-time basis.
Yeah.
And that got me the experience to get me onto a master's programme, which I did at Sheffield.
Fantastic.
In information management.
Because I often think that year is quite important, where you actually get into the real world and you really know then, do I want to work in libraries and information? And because I guess at that point, you discovered that it isn't just about books, it's also about people. Isn't it?
You still don't really know what it's all about until you actually start doing it.
No.
And I guess the thing that I discovered from working in the public library was just that I really like working with people.
That's it. Yes,
and it wasn't so much, I loved the fact that we had all the books there, but I loved the fact that I could chat to the customers, I could recommend stuff to them, we could talk about books that they'd enjoyed, and we had that, you build that kind of rapport. Yeah. And just a sheer variety of people who came in as well.
Oh yes, all the world comes into libraries and still comes into libraries. So you did your masters and did you do what I did once you came off the end of the masters? You sort of, I apply apply for loads of jobs.
I applied for everything that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
going.
applied for everything.
Yeah, just kind
Yeah.
of scattergun approach, really.
Not just universities, you
No,
just did everything. Yeah.
Everything that came up, really.
And what
Anywhere
happened?
in the
Where
country.
did you end up?
I had quite a few interviews. Where I ended up initially was in a medical library
Oh,
in
right,
an NHS
yeah.
setting
Yeah.
in Coventry, and that kind of didn't really kind of work out, to be honest.
Okay.
I was there for about 6 months, and I basically started job hunting again the moment I got there, because I realised it wasn't really
going to happen.
really going to happen. There wasn't much challenge to the role. The library wasn't really automated at that stage. My boss didn't really have any ambitions around developing it. I think she was fairly close to retirement, so she was kind of looking for, kind of quiet life, really.
I know about that.
I thought this is probably not really going to be for me. I've got all this enthusiasm from the course and everything, and I want to kind of go and apply it. So actually, I then got a job at Leeds University. So I kind of went back to where I'd done my undergraduate degree, and the job that I got there was an interesting one because it was networked information officer.
Fabulous.
And this was in 1995. So it was right at the start of the World Wide Web, really.
Oh yes, I remember those
Starting
days.
to be used in HE.
It's funny though,
Yeah.
isn't it? That was looking back on that, which is what, over 20 years ago, and I just came in at the time when we didn't have any computers or any internet, and now our profession, what would it be without it?
I know, it's just transformed in that period, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was kind of right on the cusp of that.
Yeah.
I
So you
think.
came in at the right time, I think. There.
Yeah, definitely.
And so you've been
Yeah.
in academic libraries ever since.
Well, I had a bit of a hiatus, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yes, actually thinking about it. In 2008, I took a slightly different step, and actually I went to work for 2 years for the National Institute for Health Research.
Oh right, yes.
So that was, it was based in the university, but it was funded through the MRC, Medical Research Council, and through Department of Health, so NHS, research councils, academia, and actually I was managing an IT team there.
See, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So actually you broaden the skills there, which is, the diversity of our profession. It just shows you can turn
That
your hand to all
transferable,
sorts, isn't it?
that transferable skills.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
then,
quite nice.
what's the thing that gets you up every morning and think, I want to go to work? Because you've got to have that, haven't you?
Yeah.
You don't have it every morning.
Not
I
every
guess.
morning.
No,
Some
no.
mornings you think, oh God, here we go again. But
Yeah.
Nice.
But is there
Yeah.
what's the spark?
I think it's just it's the sheer variety of what I do on a day-to-day basis, and that any day is never the same, and it's working with a great bunch of people as well.
Yeah.
I think, and just having that. I guess it's a kind of collegiate approach within the university, that it feels like we're a big community. On the whole, we're all working towards the same end. People want to work with us, they want to do a good job.
And your values.
And they can see the value that we bring to the table as well, really.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it? But it's interesting, it's about people again, isn't it? It's about the people you work with, and whether you work in universities or public libraries or health libraries or whatever, you get an incredibly diverse customer base, don't you? And that's what I love about it.
I love that. I mean, I don't see so much of that on a frontline basis now. I don't see, because I'm a bit protected from the students. I'm here in my office, and
someone knocked your door just now,
Yes.
so they know where you are.
Yeah. But sometimes it's working in partnership with the students' union and the student representatives through that, and then working with the academic staff and with people in the professional services as well.
Well, that's interesting, because partnership, I'd always say partnership is important, and that's internally in your organisation and externally, and I think you've taken that to the ultimate degree, because both of us have worked in Welsh university libraries, and the Welsh Higher Education Librarians Forum is really important, isn't it? And you have been at the apex of the major project, haven't you, in the last few years?
Yeah, with the library management system.
For all Welsh university libraries, all implemented, 3 years was it?
Yes,
And just coming up to reviewing it now, aren't you?
Yes.
So how was that?
Well, it's a great opportunity
yeah,
to do
a
that.
great challenge as well.
It's quite daunting, I think.
Yes.
When I arrived in Cardiff and Wealth people said to me, well, this is something that's been on our agenda and it's an ambition. okay, is that achievable? I'm not sure.
It is,
but
and
it,
you did.
But it was, and we did.
and I
Yeah.
have to say, as being one of the universities when I was university librarian, you know, you did a fantastic job. Can't say that on
thanks.
camera because
Yeah.
you always need someone who can keep it together, and that's exactly what you did. And I think that's the essence of work. That's why you've got this.
Yeah.
And that comes through in everything you've just been talking about, is working together. One thing
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, obviously that was universities working together and getting a library management system, but there is also some crossover into the other sectors, and I guess this is where CILIP comes in,
Yeah.
isn't it? Is you've always been an active member of CILIP. When
Yes.
did you sign up? When you were at university? When you did your
As
masters?
a student,
As
yeah,
a student,
yeah, student member,
yeah.
and then
And then you went
continued
through your
that, yeah.
chartership and all of that.
Actually, I never did chartership.
You never did? Okay. Well, no, I'm interested. So,
Yeah.
is that just a question of didn't have time, or whatever?
I think I just got so much else going on,
Yeah,
really. There were
that's
so
it,
many
isn't
other
there?
development
Yeah,
opportunities, and I kind of never really felt the need for it. But then
Interesting.
actually, I came back to it and did fellowship here in
Oh
Cardiff.
well, there you are.
Yeah,
then.
so-
Yes, fellowship being the top sort of qualification.
Yeah, and I think that was then about reflecting on, you know, how far I'd come and where I still wanted to
Yeah.
go in my career at that point, at a more senior level, obviously.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, new job in Cardiff, moving back into libraries from a more IT role,
Right.
and really reflecting on, well, okay, where do I go now with this?
That's interesting that you say that, because it was a reflective process and helped you maybe kind of get to grips with where you are. I mean, I'm interested. We've got the professional knowledge and skills base now. Was that in when you did
Yes,
the fellowship? So,
yeah.
so did you use that?
I did use that, yeah.
Was it
yeah.
helpful?
It was, because I think it did help me identify some areas for development.
Yeah. It's a sophisticated tool.
Yeah.
Because even having retired from full-time work, I find it interesting to dip into bits, and you kind of go, oh yeah, that's where I am, or I might want to do a bit of that. So CILIP's always been there. Have you? Because you're former, and you were in my role, weren't you? You're the former chair of CILIP Wales, and you've been on the committee for a while.
Yeah.
Have you ever? What other things have you done with CILIP? Have you been involved in special interest groups or anything like that?
No, I haven't actually. No. So
Again,
that might be
matter of
something
timing
for,
actually as well.
I think so. Yeah.
But what's the main benefit from the profession for you?
I think it is that sense of that wider network out there, really, and that you can, you know, you do feel that you can just get in touch with somebody and say, I'm really struggling with this problem.
You really can't you?
Is this something you've experienced? Can we
yeah.
just have a chat about it? Can I learn from what you've done elsewhere? So,
And on the whole, everybody is really generous with their time, and you can just put out that cry for help. I mean, I've got some lifelong friends through CILIP, and you know you can always ring up and say, got this issue, have you been there?
And I have signed up as a mentor as well now.
Fabulous.
So I'm
Excellent.
available for mentees.
Excellent. So getting this award, how did you feel?
To be honest, I felt a bit ambivalent about it. I'm
Did
not
you?
sure if I'm
Did
supposed
you?
to say
No,
that.
you can say that.
I kind of felt, when I heard about the nomination, I felt, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm so pleased. But there's so many other people doing great stuff as well in Wales.
And I think that speaks to your modesty.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But also a sense that I couldn't achieve anything without the teams and the people that I work with and the partnerships. Nobody does all of this stuff on their own, really, do they?
But it is richly deserved, and I think people watching this interview will get a flavour of that. And the essence of librarianship is about, yes, you started with books, then realised actually this is all about people and partnership and working together. And it's a great profession, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise to me, I think, of coming into the profession, and particularly when I started working at Leeds, was just the sheer breadth and depth of those partnerships and how much people collaborate and work together.
And actually,
and
I think we're broadening out even more now, aren't we? It's certainly interesting that we started with journalism, isn't it? And I think there is an element of journalism that is related to what we do.
Yes, I think so.
It's about people, it's about partnership, it's about information.
And sometimes it's about getting the story right as
yes,
well, isn't it? Yeah.
fact checking.
Yeah.
Because facts matter. I should have worn my badge.
But also spin when you're writing business cases and trying to get money out of your employer as
So
well.
maybe you know,
so maybe
you
I am
actually
actually
did
doing
a journalist.
journalism. Yeah, just by a different route.
Yeah,
really.
it's interesting that. And there's quite a lot of people. I remember when we had careers advisors. I did a library degree, and we had the Polytechnic, as it was then, careers advisors would come and say, well, you know, if you don't want to be a librarian, you could be in publishing, or you could be a journalist. And I'm very glad I stuck with library and information work. But it's interesting that that's been the thing.
Yeah.
So the future for you, acting university librarian, Cardiff University.
Yes.
You're not going to have any more time, are you? But I mean, that's an exciting challenge, isn't it?
It's
big,
and
it's big.
It's about more partnership again, really, isn't
Yeah,
it? And building those external networks and really looking at what we can achieve together.
Yes.
I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
And you'll officially be able to go to Welsh as a Welsh
Yes,
member. That's
can't
a
wait.
weird thing, isn't it? But yes. So that'll keep you busy for quite a few more years.
I think it will.
Yes, yeah. Well, Tracey, it's been a delight speaking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
And enjoy the rest of being Welsh Librarian of the
will.
Year for 2018.
Yes.
You'll have the honour of handing it over to the next person, I think, next year. So maybe we need to give it to teams.
Yes, that would be a lovely idea, wouldn't it?
That's interesting. Welsh Library Team of the Year.
Yeah.
Said it on
Fantastic.
camera.
Yes,
Has to
got to happen now, hasn't it?
Well, thank you for spending time with me today, and hopefully, people listening to this will sense your enthusiasm for the profession, continued enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And it's been a delight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.